This is the GC Creativity Series.
Well, certainly the patients inspire that. I try to keep up on my reading, both in the veterinary field, in the holistic human field, and then nature is certainly an inspiration for me. I try to do a lot of reading outside our field and follow some writers and photographers and designers and just things to stimulate me to try to be more creative here in the practice. We're different in a couple of ways. I mean, we have what we would consider an integrative practice, so we're trying to blend the best of traditional veterinary care and alternative veterinary care. There are some alternative veterinary practices that don't do any traditional care at all, and there are, of course, a ton of traditional allopathic practices that don't offer any alternative care. So we think we've got a nice mix of the alternative and the traditional care, and a nice blend so that we can offer people what we think is the best possible solution for health care for their pet. Well, we're constantly surrounded by them, and it's really great because they're just so perfect in the way that they get impermanence. You know, they live for today. For the most part, they don't hold any grudges, and they just inspire us to be better people. Well, here in the practice, what we try to do is communicate this idea that health isn't just the lack of disease. So we try to expose people to that for themselves while they're here, but certainly for their pets, that alternative medicine or integrated medicine shouldn't be the last stop when everything else has been tried, and that a person or a pet isn't healthy just because they're not sick, that there are just so many ways to promote optimum health, and we try to do that through nutrition and the physical things that we do, the chiropractic and the energy work, the Reiki and the craniosacral therapy and the acupuncture, to just try to expose people that their pets and themselves can be so much better than just not sick, and that's what our integrative or our alternative healthcare is all about. We've been really inspired. We've been doing this business as a holistic practice for 11 years now, and people would say, Northeast Ohio, people aren't really accepting of that, but we found that there's just more and more people that are, and that's been really encouraging. But for the folks that haven't had exposure, at least they're coming to us because they've had a recommendation from a friend or from a family member, and once they get here and we can explain to them that what we're about and what sort of approaches we can take, and we don't have to throw away the traditional medicine or traditional treatments, but we can pick and choose for what's best for their pet, I think people are a lot more accepting. And then we can expose them to the basics, the nutrition that the nutritional changes that they should make for both their pets and sometimes for themselves. And so a lot of times it's really cool that we inspire people to not only do these things for their pet, but again for themselves. So how many times a day I might hand out the card for my acupuncturist or mention, have you been to a chiropractor? Well, if they've seen the benefits for their pet, it's a really nice gateway for them. And on the other hand too, we've got people that come in because they've had great results with their own health. So it's a really good mix of things that happens here. We try to use a lot of natural cleaners and We've got a composter out back. We do some worm composting here, so all our food scraps get composted either out in a bin composter, or we've got a nice herd of worms downstairs that helps us with that too. Of course, all the fluorescent lights. We've got a flat roof up on top, and our goal eventually is to put a green roof up there, which I think would be really nice. And then we've got that wall when you first come in the clinic, and I'm actually going to do a vertical plant wall there as well, so we can bring nature inside. We've got a really, I'm blessed that we have a really great group of technicians here.